Hi guys, today I'm going to start working on my comments for competition, and I thought you might be interested in those. And first let me show you the comments that I pressed, and then I'll show you how I did that. All right, so here are the two comments that I made, and the rest of these are going to be used for tails on some of my shells. And they're drying, and what I did was I put nitrocellulose on them and then pressed them down into 4FA black powder. And so they're drying currently. And they are also all made out of gold glitter comp. And I very seldom use 2-inch or press anything 2 inches in size. So I couldn't justify buying a 2-inch pump for these stars. So what I did is I went to the hardware store and I found these 2-inch couplings that are used for conduit, I believe. And I also purchased these nuts slash washers. I'm not exactly sure what you would call these. And they screw on here, and I use those to set it up and push them out in the press. And I simply bought a 2-inch dowel rod and cut that off, and it works really nice because it's a thick wall conduit. So anyway, that saves you a couple of $100 there if you're only doing these occasionally. So that's how I did those. So let me show you the makeup of what these comets are going to look like. All right, so you can see what we have is this little deal with the comet on the front of it. And this is just simply a tube with a couple of discs on it. And it's used to, and then you'll have your lift underneath it. And it's used to push the comet out of the tube, kind of cushion it, and pushes the fire up through it and ignites it. And I recovered this from another one that I had made and tested. The string is just where I had taped the quick match on it. But it's just simply a couple of discs, cardboard discs, and I've traced these out and getting ready to cut them. I probably punched the holes a little bit bigger than that. These came with holes already in them. And then I'll just get a little section of tube and hot glue them together. And that will be our base for our comets. So let me get these put together, and then we will go from there. All right, so here's what we have. I have put together these guys, and I have put half an ounce of 2FA black powder in here and put quick match, attached it to my little pusher, and then the shell, the comet itself will be here. And then we'll wrap it up and tie it up. So what I did was took about, how much is this? About 14 inches of quick match, and I've cut back 2 inches of it. I've pre-measured out my powder, and what I do for these little guys is I'll take a baggie and I will go and cut like that, and really end up getting 2 of these per baggie. And then we can just drop our powder in there. So I'll put the quick match in. Put our powder in, and then we'll gather it up, tie it off. All right, so there we have our lift ready to go. And I just simply see how it's going to lay under here. I'll fold this up and I will tie this off just to keep it secure. Okay, and that gives us our little lift charge. And so once we have all that done, I just pre-cut some heavy paper and we'll just run the fuse out the side. I'll leave enough to fold up on the bottom here and then enough to gather up on the top. And we will just roll this up. And just put some paper on it. And if I feel like, some tape, if I feel like it's going to be a little bit, if it's too thin of paper, I would wrap this thing several times, but I think we're good here with this. And I'll just simply fold up the bottom of it under the lift and put a piece of tape on that to hold it in place while I'm finishing up. And, you know, try to make it a little better for looks and hauling. I will be carrying these with me from North Carolina to Newton, Iowa. So fold all that up. Let me try to rebunch that so it looks a little better. This paper is so thick, you get so much of it, it's hard to do this at the top there. Anyway, we tie that up. And that's pretty much it. I'll probably put a little rubber band on this just so it didn't get caught up on anything. And notice I taped the end of this just to keep any potential sparks out of that. And there we go. It just fits in a 2-inch gun, and I actually will provide those myself and take those with me because they don't provide any that small. So any of the miniature stuff, you end up taking your own tube with you. But anyway, that's it. You can make it a little prettier if you wanted, but I'm not selling them, I'm using it. So as long as it's functional, it's solid enough, and should do well. So we'll see how that does in competition. I'll go ahead and put this other one together as well. I'll go ahead and label what these are, and then I'll come back later and make an official label for it with all my contact information, so if something happens with it at the magazine or once I get it out into the field, they can contact me and they know whose it is, what it is, and how to get in touch with me. So there it is. Hopefully it'll do well in the competition. the sample that I did turned out well, so hopefully this will too. Anyway, on to the next one. I'll let you know what I get into next. Thanks for watching.